Time now to know what's on the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers. And joining me in the studio is political technocrat Dr. Dayo Kayode and public affairs analyst Shijibomi Adebi Bennett. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with this day newspaper. Protest in Katsina as Masari declares 333 people missing. Kidnappers surrounded by troops, says presidency. Buhari dispatches delegation to commiserate with government. Parents pray for children's release. And to the front page of the Vanguard now. Protests rock Katsina over abducted 333 schoolboys. 333 students still missing, says Governor Masari. Katsina orders indefinite closure of schools. My 12-year-old son among students still missing. Grieving parent cries out. PDP slams federal government over alleged use of tear gas on parents of Katsina abducted children. Archbishop Martins tasks Buhari on lives, welfare of citizens. Replace service chiefs now. Methodist prelate tells Buhari. UNICEF condemns abduction. 10 children held captive. Presidency. All right, to the front page of The Guardian. Fury over missing Katsina students. That's what you find on the front page of The Guardian. Women students take to streets in protest. 333 students still unaccounted for, says governor. Group urges Buhari to visit school. Police deploy special officer. And still talking about the incident in Kankara, Governor Masari laments schoolboys abduction, says 333 students still missing in Katsina. That's on the front page of the Daily Sun. We've located them. Defense Minister, PDP berates presidency over alleged tear gassing of parents. Women protests rock Kankara. All right, to the front page of the Punch now. Katsina mass abduction. Outrage over Buhari's failure to visit school. 333 still missing, says governor. It's shocking Buhari is in Katsina and can't visit Kankara. Nigerians. Parent protest. PDP alleges tear gas attack on protesters. Flees government, federal government. Our focus is to resolve students' abduction, not politics, says presidency. All right, let's look at the story on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Still talking about the abduction in Katsina. Governor, no contact yet from abductors of 333 pupils. Defense Minister, service chiefs in Katsina on rescue mission. Women protest. All right, and on the front page of the Daily Trust, still focusing on the same story. Katsina abduction, 668 students still missing. School register shows rescue our children, but don't use force. Parents beg government. Protests as federal government delegation visits Kankara. The boys will be freed soon. Defense Minister. All right, to the front page of the Nigerian News Direct now. Kankara, governor confirms 300 students abducted. All will be rescued soon. Defense Minister. Protests rock Katsina. PDP reacts. On the front page of the Daily Times now, eulogies for Patriots media mogul Nda-Isaiah. He died over the weekend, and it is said he died as a result of complications with regards to COVID-19. All right, moving to the front page of the Blueprint. NPAN on late leadership publisher Sam Nda-Isaiah told truth to power. Still eulogizing the person of Sam Nda-Isaiah. Leadership newspaper now. Sam Nda-Isaiah, 1962 to 2020. Death has robbed us. North Central People's Forum months. All right, gentlemen, let's look at the story that is on the front page of almost all the papers this morning, talking about the abduction of schoolboys from the school in Kankara, which has generated a lot of reaction because for a lot of Nigerians, this is happening when the president is having a private visit in the state. He went to Katsina, his home in Daura, and this is happening. But it has generated loads of reaction. And I'd like to get what your reactions are to this. I'll start with you, Dr. Kayode, your reaction to this incident.
You see, when this news started filtering in over the weekend, My mind went to Femi Anikulapo's song. I'm sorry for my nation. Egbamio. That is, somebody should rescue me. It's a big slap, not on our security apparatus now, but even to the commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
How so?
Because you are a Katsina, your home state, and definitely you will have sent some security forces ahead of your visit to snoop for information, to ensure that there is security in where you are going.
Okay.
You are now there, and it is also assumed that the security apparatus there will have been toughened up. And these people are now saying, look, you cannot withstand us. You can't stop us. And look at the dastard acts that they did again. It's so unfortunate that even government is now coming at 333. But the school is saying
from their register, it's over 600.
Over 668. And you are still not correcting your figure. So that should tell you that, I've been saying it everywhere. And now, a kind of confirmation is coming up that not until when President Buhari changes his philosophy towards ameliorating this aggravated problem that is facing us in Nigeria, it will still be so. Let him change service chiefs 1,001 times.
Is that really the solution to all of the issues that we are facing?
I've been saying it everywhere. Let him change service chief 1,001 times. The moment his statement is vacuous, the moment he doesn't follow up his statement with power and energy and passion for the country, we're going to get nowhere. Because this thing needs the moment you don't have that feelings that that is happening.
You think the president does not have feelings for what is going on?
Having that passion,
he's not feeling the impact of how people are reacting.
This is somebody who used to be in the military.
Yes.
This is somebody who was around during the Civil War. This is somebody who is now the president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces. This is somebody that both the DSS, both the DMI, both the police, both the military intelligence, both everybody give security report to every day. So, are you not supposed to be able to discern those information and then know what to do?
What do you think he should have done differently?
What he should have done differently is to give statement and follow it up. Not that you listen to this. Not that you send the IG of police to Boronu to take his headquarters there, and 3 days after, that IG will still be telling you, I didn't know you asked me to go, and nothing happened to that IG. That is a big example for you to say that yes, his statements have been vacuous as regards this security situation we are facing in this country, and that is why on his nose they can go and abduct. It is a slap. You dare not do that in some other countries. Look at what happened to the Americans the other day. They abducted one of their citizens from Nigeria and then to Nigeria. Overnight, the guy was rescued.
They sorted it out.
All right, let's
get Shijibomi's reaction to this issue now. I would like for you to react to what Dr. Nda-Isaiah has just said, especially with regards to the president's handling of security matters in the country, relating even to this.
The president's handling of security matters have been very, very woeful. It is only an insensitive person that would think how the president has been handling security matters has been okay. We're talking about repeated mistakes. Why will we continue as a country to repeat the same mistakes? every time.
In what sense? That we haven't learned from the Chibok issue? Is that what you're saying?
It didn't really even start from Chibok.
Or Dapchi.
Let us thank God that they were abducted. The other time, it started in 2012, I think. That's in Yobe. This boys' school, government school, yeah. Over 40 were killed in their sleep. And there was a suggestion as at that time.
But at that time, this administration was not yet.
I don't care about any administration. Government is a continuum.
Absolutely.
That's why I said we should learn from mistakes so that we don't repeat those mistakes.
All right.
Now, when that thing happened, it was suggested that schools should be guided.
Safe schools policy?
Yes. Now, somebody learned from it. At a point when there was intelligence report that the same thing was going to happen in Gombe. I think that was 2015, 2016. The governors at that time, I'm not sure now if it was Dakwambo or the new guy there, made sure that they closed all the schools in the suburbs and moved all the students to the state capital where they were guided to be able to have their exams. Then we had Chibok. After, we had Dapchi. The only difference in all of these things is the swift response and not blame games that happened before.
Yes.
Now, why will we continue to wallow in such self-inflicted problems or challenges? And at the same time, the president is in Katsina, and people left, a delegation left Abuja to Katsina. It is not done anywhere. The president is in Katsina. So how sensitive are you? What's the leadership trait here? Even beyond cameras, you could go discreetly, meet with them. Beyond the cameras, people don't have to, then the news can get it later that the president came. Because I still find a situation whereby a set of people is trying to kind of hide the president of the whole country from the country. What's really going on? So we must tell ourselves the truth.
They are not telling him the truth? Is that what you're saying? The truth, they are not painting the true picture of what is going on? Is that what you're saying?
I can't remember the last time I saw my president at a public gathering. I don't mean Aso Rock visits whereby it's only, teleguided scenes and scenarios. I mean a person, a leader, come out, talk to the people from the mind. See, we're going to a situation whereby we are going to be helpless in this country if we don't quickly do something. Those bandits are offshoots from Boko Haram. Forget the nomenclature. Boko Haram here, bandits there, herdsmen somewhere. All these people are criminals. And what they have is a par, if not beyond what the Nigerian military has. Let's just leave it at that. So we need, like, every stakeholdership, everybody interested in the development of this country, to forget about partisanship, come together. And it must start from the leadership. That's what I mean. It's a problem for the country. It's not a problem for APC. Absolutely. It's not a problem for PDP.
It affects everyone.
Yes, we must come together. Or else, let them continue to party. Let them continue to be doing partisan politics. Let them continue to plan for 2023. It will get to a stage, if we don't nip this in the bud, to hold a political rally in any state will be very difficult.
Nipping it in the bud for you, paint a scenario of what it is that you are saying is nipping it in the bud. Because he has mentioned saying that the government, the president must follow his statement with actions.
Number one, leadership, trust. So many morals, the morale is down in every sector of our security architecture. Why? People are at the ends of it. I don't believe that if they change the service chiefs again,
it will solve the problem.
We will have a drastic change. But it will help the morale. Some people have been there for 39 years, for God's sake. What do they have, or do they know that another set of people don't know or don't have? So sometimes even follow the voice of reason, even if there is not going to be any change in results. But let's start with that. Let's have like a kind of bipartisan approach to it. How can we go about this? Meekness is strength. You stoop to conquer sometimes. And the two major political parties, they are just trying to feed on political gains. Someone is saying 10, someone is saying 333, someone is saying, even the political party that is in opposition now does not even have the credibility, the moral standing to even talk about this, because they fail to, in terms of this kind of issues during their own time. So it's not about apportioning blames now. When these things happen, I just consider myself or my son or my daughter amongst those people. It's because it's news to us. People are really suffering there.
Absolutely, because one wonders what this portends for the future of these young ones who innocently go to school to become the leaders of tomorrow. When they keep being abducted, what does this portend for the future of even the country?
It portends fear. And you keep on portending fear until it says something. When I was saying service chiefs, when they change them, it will improve the morale. They will not be changed because they are part of the calculations of the president's philosophy as regards security of the country. And that's why I said, it's not about changing the service chiefs. It's about telling the president to change
but dealing with
his vision.
Issues of security, insecurity was one of the key things that the president talked about. Before he came into power.
It's one thing to say something. It's another thing to follow it. When he was campaigning, it was just bamboozling the people. But because we have seen it now. It talked about economy, it talked about security, it talked about what again?
Corruption.
So tell me, which of them? Security, our economy, is it economy? I don't know whether you were at the last trade fair. I went to the last trade fair. Go and see how empty that place was. You know why? Because our economy is bad. 2, international trade fair, they were closing borders. Do you understand? So what do you expect? So what I'm now saying is, especially on this security, we should stop hammering on changing of service chiefs. Changing of service chiefs will fall in if we can make it to change his vision and mission as regards security situation in the country. He has his own, the way he's acting, he has his own game plans. It's not like when you are watching a movie. When you are watching a movie, the movie will show you what they have in mind to show you, whether good or bad. So it will still show you what they have in mind to show you. So what we are now saying is, what he is showing us is not good for the future of this country, especially the youth. Is sort of changing the mind of the youth to become violent and nothing more.
Really?
Sure, because everybody now will look at it. Well, look, I got to defend myself. There will be trust again. Nobody will now trust anybody. And when you don't trust each other, what does that portend to?
Now the parents have come out protesting that this can no longer continue, and the governor too is also speaking about this because he is very worried about this whole situation. And like we always say, the primary purpose of any government is the security of lives and property. The parents are looking helpless at this point. Only God knows what is going on in their minds. What can be done? I'm just trying to get into their minds to understand what solutions we can be looking at. Even because the governor is seemingly helpless. There's nothing much that he can do. And the Inspector General of Police is saying that the safe school policy is what they are going to be looking at, strengthening schools, ensuring that security is strengthened around schools at this point. With that, encourage parents to send their children to school, where we have, according to the school register, over 600 of their children missing now.
In any problem or challenge, there is a short-term, medium-term, and a long-term solution. And I thank God that this time around, this thing is happening in an APC state. So there is no...
We are saying we are trying to take away politics,
yes,
partisan politics from
know.
anything.
I'm saying this is happening where it cannot be politicized. Because what happened yesterday was is enough, or was enough, to turn the tide of what we should be focusing on, whereby the presidency was saying 10, and even the governor was saying 333.
And the school is saying 600.
So we will have lost focus if it was opposition parties. Now, the short-term solution is to encourage the parents, like you said. Who will encourage the parents? It's the leadership. If you were a parent and the president has said he will lead from the front, and you saw the president have a meeting with you and assured you and told you in clear terms what is being done, your fears will be allayed. That's short term. The medium-term solution is what we have talked about, because this thing will repeat itself if we continue on this path. Is safe school policy, but how long will that last? 2-3 years, security will be relaxed again.
6 months.
Then the long-term solution, let's consider the state police of a thing so that there won't be blame games. So
where the state governor is
in charge.
Yeah.
And I've said it that we don't have to jump into the ocean with our 2 legs. We can take one step at a time and feel how deep the shore is or the ocean is. How do I mean? Take a section of the Nigerian police whose main responsibility is to do that. We have the MOPO. Let there be an anti-insurgency, anti-kidnapping unit directly under the influence or under the control of the state governors. Let's tinker with that a bit, so that we know that during elections we don't want to see them. So that if your fear is politicians will take advantage of them, let them just be for anti-kidnapping and anti-insurrection or whatever you call it, and let that be the main objectives. Let them be under the control, so that I can hold my governor accountable. Like my state now, it's very difficult to go to my state because of kidnapping. But my state governor will tell me he is not in charge of security. Abuja will say we have deployed more forces there, and the blame games continues. So those are for me, we can look at that 3 different options: short term, long term,
medium term as well. Your final word on this before we wrap it up.
My own is that as much as possible, we should up our game against this insecurity menace. It's beyond changing of service chiefs. It's beyond changing of those field workers, but rather for the president himself to be decisive. This is what I want, and he follows it up with action. Not that this is what I want, you just go there and without following it up, without putting in the necessary infrastructure that person will work with to achieve what we are supposed to achieve. So not until when we start to do that, we can't get to nowhere.
All right. Dr. Dayo Kayode Shijibumi Adeni Bennett, or Adebi Bennett, thank you for your time. Before I change your name, thank you for your time on the program. Thank you. Yes, thank you for your time.